All right, ladies and
Buddy.
gentlemen, we are back and we have a special guest.
We do. Thank you for coming and taking a pause for running it. We are now going to run it with Courtney.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us. I have to tell you guys how we met, but before we start, let's review this drink.
What are y'all reviewing? Because I'm not reviewing a drink, but go ahead, review what y'all gonna review.
Margaritas.
As you know, we're in two separate places, so I'm not getting the margarita.
She's on work travel. We're on vacation.
Isn't that so lovely?
That's nice.
We are with our husband and children. It's been great. It's been great.
It's been really good.
It's been really good. We're having such a good time. So cheers.
What are you drinking? Did you say it?
What is it?
What are you drinking?
Margaritas.
What kind?
Regular margarita.
Like no different flavor?
It's just a lime margarita.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
you have
Tequila.
what's on the
Don
rim?
Julio.
So Don
What's
Julio.
on the rim?
That's the margarita salt. And then
Oh, okay,
Don
so it's
Julio. Yeah. In the mix.
Okay, see, you gotta give the people all of that, all of it.
All
It's
the mix.
good.
Okay.
It's good. Man, that's good.
I know. I've had
This
two.
is
Well, let me
Easy.
show y'all what I'm reviewing. Because we had another episode and I reviewed my drink on that episode. So since I don't have no margarita, y'all know out there I like snacks and sweets. So this is what I'm reviewing.
Oh,
Can y'all see that?
M&M.
M&M cookie ice cream sandwich.
Those are bomb.
Well, these are okay.
They come in the box in the grocery store in the frozen section.
Never
It's
had
like a
one.
box of 4.
Oh, this one I turned it upside down. Look,
Oh.
Yeah.
so these are okay. The best ones are the Nestle. Okay, the Nestle
The Nestle.
Nestle what? Which one?
Nestle chocolate chip cookie sandwiches.
Oh, that's the one coming in the meat.
Yeah, the one that's in a yellow wrapper.
Yeah.
It's the best one. I think that's the one you're talking about because that's the one that sells in the grocery store.
No,
and it
I'm
comes
talking about that
in a
one.
yellow wrapper.
That was
Oh,
on the
no,
grocery
this one
store
is
in the
not as
box.
good. But this is the only one they had out here. So
We have to agree to disagree. I mean,
It's okay.
I'll check out. You know what? We'll do that on the next show. We'll have a Nestle versus an M&M, and we'll do that,
And see.
and then we'll resolve this.
the mic will be dropped when Nestle comes out. Okay.
Now, if she brings a mic to that show, don't be surprised if Nikki C brings a mic to that show. I swear, she has a tendency to do shit like that.
I'm just saying. But we digress. Let's move on to our topic of the day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking about race.
Okay.
Why, you ask? 'Cause it's still an issue, and it's bullshit, and it's stupid. And I'm
Audience members, not only does she have margarita, but she has some wine. So be just be
picking on both.
gentle.
Gentle.
What do you mean? What did I say that was wrong? Those are facts. People
Mine were facts too. You had a margarita and some wine, so you acting a little.
You just right at tell them.
I've always been like I don't need alcohol to be like that.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, what are you saying? This is liquid courage?
Hey, girl. Just get on the topic. Get on the topic.
Well, that's what it's about, you know? And so, so this is the thing. Let me ask you, how long have you been dealing with, because, so let's talk about a little bit how we met. So our husbands became friends. They're gamers. They're avid gamers. And they became friends. So then we became friends, and our kids became friends. And this was all on, they play Xbox. So all on Xbox. So like our kids like kind of grew up together, seeing each other on screens just like this, talking with headphones on, you know. So this is our first time after 10 or 13
Yeah.
years of actually getting together physically. So our relationship has been that like that.
Virtually.
Virtual.
It's been a COVID relationship, even though
This is our
it
first time. We are
started before
having so
COVID.
much fun. The kids are having so much fun. Like, it's amazing. So, but saying that, her husband is Black and she's white. And so I thought this was a good opportunity for her to be able to come on and talk about how the fuck she feels. And I'm sure that you guys, you know, feel a certain way too, like I do. Oh, and Nikki
Look,
see
she
it
said, and I'm done.
crushing her bottle. FYI, she just opened it today.
No. That was from a previous show. I'm finishing it, ma'am. Finishing it from a previous show.
Well, shit, that just means it wasn't even a whole day. I was trying to help you out.
No, it was a whole day, but I'm just saying, previous show.
Previous show.
She's there by herself, y'all, so she drank that whole bottle.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. You're messing it
So
up.
the
You know, we're
question
trying to.
is, how long have you been dealing with any racial issues for being married to a Black woman? Like, what is it like for
Well,
you?
Well, did it start even before marriage? That would be my question. Because you've been with him for how long?
I've been with him we married in June. Well, this is June, for 12 years. But
Mhm.
we've been fully together since 2007, and that's been 16. Is that 16 years? I think that's 16 years. Yeah. So that.
Okay. So you've known him for 15 years. And prior to getting married, did you have any kind of experiences?
Well, we lived.
Or was it?
Well, we lived in East Texas, so by a military base, so it was a lot of diverse there. There wasn't a lot of that, but I do remember a run-in. He went with my family to a Sam's Club in a small town, because they didn't have, like, now they've expanded and they made it a bigger city and things are closer and stuff. But before, you had to drive like an hour and a half away to go. So we went to a Sam's Club and they did not want to let us in because he was with us. And my mom was like,
Oh, they didn't want to let you in.
yeah, we went to go in and they had said something to my mom about him being with us. And him
Was
being
it Sam's Club?
What they
a
say?
Sam's Club. I can't remember verbatim. I mean, I don't remember. I remember my mom's reaction. She was like, well, I have a membership and I don't give a fuck what color he is. We're going in the store. Like, we're going in the store.
She didn't want him to come in the store with them.
The lady that checks your card when you go in had said something about him coming in the store with us.
Wow.
So that was the first.
Did y'all go in the store?
Yeah, we went in the store. Mm-hmm. So went in the store, got what we needed to get, and nothing else was said about it from them. My mom apologized to him, and she's like, "She's not."
Say it again.
I said,
Your mom apologized to who?
To Cameron. That he even had.
Oh, I was about to say, I know she didn't apologize to that daggone lady.
No. To Cameron for even having that interaction. Because here we are just trying to go to the grocery store in 2006 or 7. 6 or 7. It was one of those years. And yeah.
So, A. Marie.
Wow.
If you was trying to go into a store and they didn't want somebody in your party to go in with you, what would you do? And I'm not talking about all the cussing and stuff. I'm talking about after all the cussing. What would you do?
You mean like would I go in the store?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably be like, fuck you.
Wait. What'd you say?
That's all I would do.
What's wrong with her?
I don't want to engage in things like that. I don't like to engage in nonsense. It's nonsense, and I don't want to do it. I would just be like, well, fuck you, I'm going, and I would go. Like I don't know what, you know, that I'm not dealing in that.
But if they call security, then what?
Then we got a problem because I have a motherfucking right to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing anything wrong. That's your issue. So it's like I would literally say fuck you and I would go. because they need to know how I'm feeling.
Right.
But I'm still gonna go. I mean, it's not. It sucks. I hate it. It's stupid. Like I said, but mind your business. I think that's one thing Black people are good at. We're good at minding our fucking business. Sometimes, not all the time. Okay, no, we're not.
I asked that because I'm almost thinking I might do like a Pretty Woman scene or something. I don't know.
She said, I don't know.
So you would leave.
It's like
You would go to Costco. So you would find a Costco.
no,
And then go
no.
rack up a whole lot of stuff and then come back to Sam's Club and say you made a big mistake.
No. I think what I would do is hopefully I had cash on me that day. If I had cash on me, I would go in there, get to the register with all the items that I was about to buy, put my cash out, and say, you know what? Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all made a big mistake. Now you're going to have to put all this shit back.
The problem is it's a corporation, so that rep doesn't care.
That's true. But the
boutique. So that was like some private owner type.
Say it again.
I said in Pretty Woman, that was a boutique. So it was
well, not necessarily. Yeah, not necessarily. It is a smaller person on the totem pole, but at some point, how are you going to get that message up to the one who should care, right? That's all.
Well, we already know what Nikki C would do. She's definitely going to write a letter. She's definitely going to mail it in. I will send an email. She's going to write a letter. But I sent an email to Hobby Lobby one day.
Did you?
I sure fucking did.
What happened?
I was pissed. It had nothing to do with race, but I was pissed.
So you've been with him for 15 years.
Service, I have a problem with that. Would you say? Because I'm nice.
I said, so you've been with him for 15 years. And so y'all had the one run-in at the store.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, y'all didn't really have too much other run-ins because y'all were in already like kind of a diverse area.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because we went from dating to being engaged. Still, I mean, the military base is 5 minutes away. We lived off base, but all that's diverse. They're so used to
people coming in.
All kinds of families living there and going shopping in that town and stuff. I'm sure there was some in that town because it's still a small town, but we didn't really...
They didn't make it as obvious because they were the minority in a way.
Exactly.
Fast forward to you all getting engaged and married, right? Mm-hmm. So so then you experience, I would say, I think a big deal, but I want you to tell everyone from like the birth of your daughter or creation, shall I say?
The creation.
Are we talking about the creation or after?
No. We're not talking about no.
Like, that's a different show now.
In utero phase, okay? All right.
Yes. So we found out we were pregnant, and I went to go get the confirmation of being pregnant. And they do the whole vaginal check with a vaginal ultrasound to make sure that it's I guess a closer look. The wand. And they saw the baby on there. They measured her and all that. And then they took us to another room and had us sit down, and the doctor was like, "Oh, who are you with?" And I was like, "Oh, this is my mother-in-law." And he's like, "Oh, this is the mother-in-law. So your husband is Black."
He said that?
Just like that.
No.
Yes, he did. He said, "So your husband is Black." And I was like, "Yes."
What did your mother-in-law say?
She was just sitting there looking at me like, I know he didn't just ask that directly.
She's in shock.
Yeah, she was completely in shock. She was sitting there literally quiet. She didn't have nothing to say. And I was like, yeah, why is that? Is that a question? From that point on, I knew the whole encounter with him was going to go left, because here you are telling me, oh, congratulations, the urine test is it, the HCG levels, all that, you're pregnant, you're good, to finding out that my mother-in-law is Black and my husband is Black too, we can't find the heartbeat. So we need to do a DNC. And I was like, no, I don't feel comfortable doing that. So I called my mom, talked with her, and she's like, from her point of view, she's like, she didn't know any of the backstory of what's going on in the office.
She didn't know that he asked about.
She didn't ask. Yeah, Black. She didn't know none of that. And I couldn't talk on the phone for two reasons. One, you're telling me now the baby don't have a heartbeat. Two, you're asking me and questioning me on the race of my husband, like that has anything to do in it. So my mother-in-law got on the phone with her and she's like, yeah, they're saying she lost the baby and she needs to do a DNC and they're going to give her a pill and then do the clean out in 3 days and this whole conversation. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I want to talk to, and I think it's something services where you can go and complain and talk to them. So I was like, no, I'm leaving. I want to go talk to them and I'm not doing a DNC. If I'm having a miscarriage, I'm going to have it naturally. I'm not going to do anything that you're saying. And he did not like that. He was like, no, it's not good for you to do that. You need to do this because it can be dangerous for you. Yeah. So he was like really pressuring me to do this. And I was like, no, we're not doing it. So my mother-in-law was like, look, she says she don't want to do this. So we're not doing it. So we left and we went to, I don't know what they're called.
Like a patient advocate or?
Yes. Well, tried to. They weren't there. So then we left, went home, and I waited for my husband to get home. And he came in the door and I was crying and telling him the whole night. He's like, calm down. We'll go get a second opinion. So he took me to an ER, to a whole different hospital. We got a second opinion and they were like, everything is fine. It's too early to see that. Like, you're still early. Don't do anything. Give it time. So I made phone calls, did my complaints. I waited 4 months to go back to that same hospital. And that they told me that I needed to get a DNC. And I talked to the higher ups in there and I was like, look, I don't know if he's still going to be the same person I need to deal with or who it is, but I don't want to deal with him. I already have a complaint in on him. And they're like, well, let's go ahead and get this all cleared up. Because I still had the paperwork and everything that they sent me home with. And I was like, I don't want to be dealing with this. Like, it's pointless. I'm not coming in here for you to be questioning me on who I'm with or none of that. So they're like, well, let's clear it up. He ended up getting fired because they did the ultrasound again, found the heartbeat, and everything was good. I didn't have no complications other than like things that just come with pregnancy or health issues with myself. But
and what year was this again?
That was in 2014.
That's
Wow.
2014.
That is insane.
So
I am sorry that you went through that.
yeah, other than that, I mean, and I went back to the hospital. That's where the rest of my care for my pregnancy was. And I never seen him again and didn't have any more issues out of the hospital. Other than me not wanting to be there just because I shouldn't be having to deal with that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, and it's sad because I don't know what other, because I mean, I was young, in my opinion.
Yeah, who came before you?
Yeah, like how many other people did you come across that maybe didn't even catch on that why are you asking me that? Or you have no business or right to be asking me who this is or why, none of that. How many people did they get to do that DNC or take that pill because they weren't?
Yeah, and I'm sure once you filed your complaint, they should have gone back to look at that to see if that provider had any other. Yeah, that's what they're supposed to. You're supposed to go back and look to see, okay, on this provider's list, did he have any other DNCs? And if they were
they viable pregnancies?
Right.
Yeah. Or also were they related to interracial couples? And
exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, somebody like that's like playing God. I don't even know if race could be a sole reason. He seems like one of those people that like, if you just feel like you too young in general.
Right.
He might just be like, you know what? The baby don't have a heartbeat.
Oh, do you mind asking how old were you at the time? Do you think that the age was an issue or?
No, I'm just saying that he might have other biases other than race that he would have, taken that.
I mean, I guess he could have. I guess if anyone wanted to view it that way, of oh, maybe he thought you were no, because the whole time of me being there, everything was fine until he walked into the room and saw my mother-in-law, because it was a whole nother nurse that even brought me back there, brought us to the room, and then he came and he's like, I'm going to be taking you back here and take you to get this ultrasound and then bring you back to your room. Then he comes in with the, who is this?
That's cool. That is insane. And that was 2000 what?
14.
14. That shit is still happening.
So now that we're in 2022 and with everything that is going on in the world and knowing that you have, biracial children, are there any things that you would have to deal with as a mother of a biracial child? Do you have to talk to your children about certain things that, maybe you wouldn't have?
Yeah, if they weren't biracial. I'm sure there should be conversations that come up, because I'm sure there's people out there who think like, oh, well, my children are mixed with black and white. Well, from speaking for myself, white and black, I can just claim they're white and not have an issue. But society's not going to see them as that. And it's not fair for me as a white woman to, I don't know the right term or the real term to use, whitewash, in a sense, my children and not let them know things that they should know because I am white, because they're not going to have that same privilege that they would if they weren't mixed with black.
Mm-hmm.
So at this age where they're at now, because they're only 3, 5, and 7, conversations are limited to a sense, because they're not to where she can, like my oldest being 7, she's not to where she can understand and grasp her head around certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So where
she's really smart,
and she thinks so much into things.
Say it.
I said they're all beautiful.
Oh, okay.
They're all beautiful and they're smart, and like she is super smart. I'm almost sure. Did she ask you like really crazy questions where you're like, I don't even know how to answer this, or I hate that I have to answer this?
Right. Yeah. Well, she has for all kinds of topics. She asked a couple weeks ago, she said, so I'm allowed to say I'm black, Mom? And I was like, you are black. Yeah, you can say you're black. She was like, but I'm not black like Dad. Like, you have your white skin and Daddy has brown skin, but my skin is like tan. So how can I say I'm black? And I was like, well, you asking me questions I really don't know how to answer on hand like that, other than just say that you're black. Like, you can say you're black. You can say you're mixed, whatever, how you would like to say it. Just, you don't have to be scared to say what race you're mixed with if somebody asks you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know how to answer some of her questions she comes to me with yet. I have to answer them certain ways with her, because she goes way into deep things. Like,
and see, my oldest, who is fair skinned, he came home to me one day and asked, well, no, he didn't ask. He said that the people at school say that he is not black because he's fair skinned. And I said, well, yes, you are. I said, you are. I said, that, we are all different colors. We're not just a dark skin color. We are caramel, we're tan, we're,
Yeah. I know. I love it. The black race is the only race in the world that makes all shades.
Yeah.
All shades.
And so I went over that with him because I'm like, just because in his class he may have more of a darker hue class consistency, that doesn't mean that you're not a part of that.
Right.
You're just a different skin color, but you're still within that same race. But that's interesting that, and part of the reason why you may not have to have as many conversations yet is also because your oldest is a girl versus a boy, right?
Right.
Yeah. Her youngest is a boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I was going to say, my youngest, I was having conversations with him.
He a little G.
At 5.
He a little G though. So I I say he's a little G. He a little gangster.
Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is, like, for mine, I had to start having conversations at 5. What age do you have to have?
So wait, so he's 3 and he's a gangster. So does that scare you that he a black man and he is aggressive?
Yeah.
But he's like naturally that way, not in a bad way, but like it's him. Like
Right.
it's him. Like that is part of his character.
Oh, yeah.
Does that
Yeah, it does. Because I don't want him to limit how he's going to express himself or to come out, but he's going to have to be aware of that with the skin color he has. Like you're not
Yeah,
going
because in a way, he is going to have to limit it to some
Right,
extent,
like, you're gonna
depending on
have
where
to
y'all
limit
live.
and tread lightly
Depending on where
certain-
y'all live.
Exactly. So for sure. I mean, and it's definitely different, like she said, with having my daughter being the oldest and not my son, which gives me time really. I mean, yeah, to kind of figure it out and learn as I go to be how I'm going to approach conversations and grab information from people to have that because they're going to have to be had.
Yeah. And I'm sure your husband is probably going to have some of those conversations, you know, from
and
father to son.
Yeah. And
But-
coming from him, it should be that way too, because it shouldn't just be coming from me.
Yeah. Yeah.
shouldn't
But
just be
it
coming
has
from
to come
me.
from both, you
Yeah.
know. So then he understands that not only is my father saying this, but my mother, who is
Right.
not even is agreeing and
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
Are there things that you and your husband have to agree on anything about race before talking to the kids? Like, is that anything? Like, is that something that comes?
You have to
up?
consider it.
We've never had anything. I feel like across the board, we're on the same page with anything. Even with me being white, I haven't experienced things like that with him, but I feel like I would never have to have him or even want him or anyone to question, like, damn, I need to have this conversation with her, because I'd be understanding of it. Like, that's coming from you. You have you feel that way, or you have been treated a way to feel that you need to say that. I can't say that. You shouldn't have that conversation with them. You don't need to have that conversation with them, because even if it's never directly happened to me or someone that I know that's happened, it's coming from a place that you feel that should be said, because your kids are.
Because you trust your
Yes.
husband.
To
and you
give them
trust
the
his
knowledge they need
instinct.
to know, for sure.
Right. Because you assume the best, not
Right.
the worst of him.
Right.
We talked about that one show, guys. I don't know if y'all, remember
Permissiveness.
when you do, have a spouse that you can assume the best. It just makes for a happy marriage. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it does.
It does. It does. But that's good. So, but this is the thing that you all don't know about Courtney. So remember, we said that our husbands are avid gamers. So, on the game, they deal with a lot of racism. Like, I don't even understand how my husband does it. But what he says to me, yes, girl, they be on the game. And
That's because they're behind the camera.
yes,
They get,
they get, just how they got Twitter fingers and Twitter beefs. It's the same thing. They be talking to everybody in the world. They play internationally. So it could be anybody. And they be like calling them all type of niggas, but they don't say niggas, they say niggers.
Yeah,
and they're like, we'll hang you, we'll fuck your mom and kill her and rape her. Yes, they
or
are
send it, not even just say it. They'll send it in writing from their gamer tag.
They are off the fucking chain. And I was like,
Am I playing with them?
with this.
No.
Well, so they don't, so they compete. They're competitive.
Oh,
So-
are they playing with the person saying it?
Yeah, so they don't know. So when you go to battle, you don't know who you battling. You battling people from all over the world.
Like, so
Okay.
for an instance, like you have your team.
Yeah.
So we would pick who we play with, but you're playing live. So the other team you're playing with you can't
You don't
hear
know
them, but you can still message them and respond to them, or
During
they
the
can send
game.
voice messages.
They doing it for money?
Some people do. Some people get paid.
No, but I'm asking, are your husbands doing it for money?
Oh
No,
no, they're not up there.
No,
They would like to, but they don't.
Yeah, he's done a couple of competitions. They did with some raids.
Yeah.
You do the raids and things like that. It's a whole different world, right?
That's just their hot.
Right. So it's a whole world. But so they be going in, and I asked my husband, how does he do that? Right. And he says, well, I don't even talk about it anymore. I just whoop their ass. He just beats their ass. Like, he just wins. He's like, all it does is motivate him to whoop their ass even harder. You know what I'm saying? And be disrespectful with it. And that's what he does. He doesn't even talk about it anymore. But yo, Courtney be going in. She be going ham. If like her husband posts something on like their gamer, page or something. You're like, oh. Right. And she's like, oh.
I remember.
Right. So she's like, she goes in when they talk about like race and things like that. She's going in. So I can't, I know that you're not the type of white mom that would try to whitewash her kid.
Right.
I just know that about you because of that. Like she won't even let that shit go.
No, I don't.
I mean, I wouldn't have thought that being that y'all are staying in the same house for a week
together. Right. That's true.
I don't think that was a question.
But you know what? No, that's not true because a lot of white women would do this anyway.
I'm sorry, say it again?
Say a lot of white women would do this anyway. They just wouldn't tell you that.
No,
they would do it. Oh, yes, the fuck they would. I have listened. Oh, I have experience with
y'all are doing it. No, not to the point that you all are doing it in the closeness that you have. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, you mean like, okay, gotcha. We could still be in the same house, but we wouldn't be like, it wouldn't really be fellowship.
It wouldn't be this.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be this.
Fellowship.
Yeah.
Do white people fellowship?
Yeah.
What was your question?
Not like black people have.
I asked her, do white people fellowship? Because I've never heard... I've never heard a white person ever refer to getting together,
Oh, for church they do. I don't think they refer to it outside of church.
Yeah.
I was about to say, okay, but black people
outside of church
refer to it.
They use the term more for church.
Yeah.
Right.
Outside of it is
it's for
gathering.
The gathering.
She said
The gathering. Yes. It's a gathering.
It is.
Right, black people fellowship, but you know what?
But it's a potluck. It's not a cookout. It's a potluck.
It is. What are you bringing to the potluck?
We like what you bringing to the cookout.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Well, I don't know. Shit, I don't know.
If you were doing stuff in your backyard and inviting people over, what do you call that?
It's a cookout. I don't even think my parents have ever said a damn potluck though.
But your mom also apologized to your husband, right? For
having
so she doesn't count either.
Yeah, because my parents really call it just family get-togethers. That's really what she
do
said.
Get together,
a family get together, or yeah.
So yeah, we do have cookouts, but yeah, get together. Yeah,
or a kickback.
See, that's what the young kids say. That's what my little sister says. Yes, that's what my little sister says. I'm like, all right, what you kicking?
What?
I be asking her, what you kicking? Nikki sees him getting cut off, y'all. Or I'm getting hoarse. Either one. I don't know.
I think the stuff is laggy. In and out.
It's doing good now. It's not as bad. But, so that's interesting. The other topic, I would love to talk to maybe a Caucasian woman who's not in a biracial relationship to determine if they even have any conversations with their kids.
Yeah.
Especially now. I guess.
Well, I can answer that. I can answer that.
It's really been going on forever. It's really been going on forever. But we say because of all this stuff going on now, but it's gone on forever. But, do they have conversations with their kids?
But I can answer that question too. Because prior to me being in a relationship with Cameron, because, younger than that, you're not really, like I had crushes and I had little boyfriends. They were, but.
Damn, you said colored?
Colored.
Oh, fuck.
Wait a minute, back up. I didn't hear that. What happened? What happened?
I said prior to being in my interracial relationship with Cameron, smaller, because I was in younger grades with boyfriends, I had colored boyfriends. Like,
oh wow.
Wait a minute. Where is that what they called them when you were younger?
Colored.
That's what they said, like where you grew up?
The older people, yeah.
Wow.
Colored.
And that was like,
Can we
okay.
back up a little bit?
Well, my parents and all of us, we just known people as black and white, but the older, like you had older teachers and stuff in color. I've heard it. I've heard
Do you
people.
hear like white people like being cool with people like out and then like in their house they be like saying nigga and stuff, but they won't say it out?
No, I've never witnessed that. I've heard people say that they've witnessed it, but I've never witnessed it. But that goes to answer what the question she asked. My parents never had conversations with me about
Race.
or not even just about race. We've talked about race, I guess, in a sense, like, well, I guess not really sitting down, just having a conversation, because my dad being military.
Yeah.
Okay. My dad being military, we grew up around everyone. So I didn't have to have conversations.
Yeah.
It was like, you're going to treat this person right, or you're going to get in trouble. Like, there's no, unless they did something bad to you, you're not going to be out there just being bad to people. So no, conversations that my parents had with us.
Because you were raised to just treat everybody equal.
Yeah.
But they didn't talk to you about the inequality that happens that you might witness.
Oh,
okay. Or that your friends might try to get you to be part of.
Right. No.
Right.
It was just a broad spectrum of if there's people doing this to people,
right,
don't do that. Like there was never a strict topic on how things really are. It wasn't that.
What did you want?
What I found,
What did you want to go back to?
Okay, what I found interesting is I'm thinking, based on the years that you gave earlier, that you're somewhat younger than me, at least.
Oh yeah, she's younger than us.
Yeah, I'm the old head, but anyway. So you're younger than me, and yet you're saying that in your teenage years, people use the word colored, which is kind of crazy to me, because I would have thought that would have happened even before my time, but you're younger than me. I guess that's because you grew up more in the South, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Texas,
so, yeah, in Texas. In Texas.
Mm-hmm. So in Texas.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense.
Or because though you hear it still, even, and it's a lot of the older people that say it, like, oh, that little colored boy. And I'm just like, now really seeing, how, because it's been years. It's not like I'm just knowing about things, but not in my childhood growing up seeing it direct. I'm just like, why are you still referring to them as that? Especially in a school setting. Children's name being staff, their names. And even if you don't know their names, you can refer to them in other ways. So
I've been called colored before. Me and my sister, we were at the casino in St. Louis. I used to live in St. Louis for like 4 or 5 years, and that was a racist. That's a racist ass city.
You've been called white before too.
I get called. When I get called Latino, I get called white.
When you went to Jamaica.
Canadian. When I went to Jamaica. So it was a funny story. So I had on a t-shirt, right? So I went to one of the times we went to Jamaica. I had on a t-shirt, and you are so petty for bringing this up, but I'm going to tell the story anyway. I had on a t-shirt that said "Black Girls Rock," right? And we went to Jamaica. We were getting off. We were waiting for car
at the airport, right?
Yeah, we were at the airport waiting for the car service to come. And the Jamaican one of the Jamaican boys was like, so where's the black girl? I was like, what? It's like, what nigga? The black girl's here, right?
I am she.
And he died laughing. And I was like, where did you think I was? He said, I thought you were Canadian. And they say, and like, it's been multiple Jamaican men that have said that to me when I vacation there. Like, it's crazy. I don't know. Do I look Canadian? I've never been to Canada, so I have no idea.
I don't know what a Canadian person looks like.
I would say I don't
even know what that means, but I don't know. I've never been.
Maybe there was a Canadian that came to Jamaica and you look like her.
So
All
multiple
Canadians
Jamaicans,
don't-
like the different ones, like this is like different. I mean,
'cause what do Canadian women look like? I don't know. That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't know.
They must have had an experience with a particular Canadian to say that, because I don't know.
You know, that is account. What were we saying before that?
I don't remember.
That you've been called different races.
Yes.
So we were at a casino in St. Louis, and it was these two white boys, you know, white boy wasted. And they were saying something. Oh, I don't remember a whole story, but they were saying something. And then when we were walking away, like we like kind of laughed at them, like laughed them off because we were there. This was when me and my husband were dating. Like we were together, but not married yet.
Mhm.
Me and my husband been together for a long time. But we were still dating. And so she was there with who is now her husband, who she was dating. And we
Right.
were like, because they were trying to talk to us, like try to
Talk.
like trying to talk to us to get them, you know, to like go out for a drink kind
Right.
of thing. And so of course we declined. And it was like, well, you know, well, y'all all right for some colored girls.
Oh, now you're colored.
We was
because
like,
they are
colored? What? Like, and then it was like you don't even want to know who we here with. Like, we're not here by ourselves because we weren't by them at that time. We were like,
Right.
we want to get a drink or something, you know. So I've been colored. I've been called colored. I've been colored. It's terrible, I guess. But
Well, this is an interesting conversation to have, especially with including, the other, race and to see different perspectives, and if there are different perspectives or different things that you all have to deal with. And, it's
We have
always good to have these
conversations.
conversations.
we have conversations with our kids all the time. Like when something's happening in the world, we have conversations about it. Like about, the mass shooting with the kids in the school. We had a conversation about it. Like when things happen, when the insurrection happened, we had a conversation about it. Fuck. When Trump was declared president, we had a motherfucking conversation about it because we didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. I needed my, we had a conversation about it. We always say something, it might not be, they're young, so it's not going to be like a 20-minute conversation,
Right.
but it's going,
Touched on
I need them to know that like, this is your world. Like, this is your world. And I don't need to ruin your innocence right now, but you need to, I'll feed it to you in bites.
Right.
In small bites.
Where's your dad?
Yeah. Go ahead. They going to sleep? What time is it?
She said they're going to sleep.
Oh, okay. It's 1:30 here. 1:30 a.m. Yeah, I guess they are going to sleep.
Long over there. Look at her. She's like, me too.
No. What she's saying is that it's proving her point where
That they don't go to bed at night.
Yeah, my kids stay up late, and they do because they're night owls. It's in their blood. It's in their DNA. I don't know what to do about it.
That it's in their blood.
You guys.
All right, ladies. Well, this has been a great conversation. I think it's good to have these type of conversations.
For any of the listeners, for their households, and that you guys, talk about it.
And it's also good to talk to other people that have different experiences instead of just staying in your own inner circle or your own
Right.
group. Talk to other people because that's how you learn about things.
Agreed.
Mhm.
All right, we'll get back to Ronnie, and Nikki C's about to go to sleep because she got to get up early in the morning. She said she got to get her routine.
On a work trip. I'm not on vacation.
It's only like 9 p.m. there, though.
No, it is not, ma'am.
10 p.m.
No, it's not, ma'am.
What time is it?
Almost 11.
It's late. It's late,
It's almost
ma'am.
11 there. Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, peace out. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for
you guys for
sharing your
having me.
story.
Damn.
Yeah. Maybe we'll all be able to get together one day, and I'll be
Yes.
on vacation as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Then you
Yes.
can review the margarita.
Come get one. This house that we're in is amazing. We gotta do it again. For sure. All right.
All right, ladies.
Go back to running it, and we'll see you next time.